Few people laughed. Few people cried. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
At exactly 5:30 a.m., the bomb went off, leaving a mammoth mushroom of smoke and gas in its wake. The firing tower, much like everything else in the area, was destroyed completely. The device exploded with a power equivalent to 25,000 tons of TNT, the New York Times reported. In an interview with NBC in 1965, Oppenheimer said that the line from the Bhagavad Gita occurred to him at the time of the explosion. "Now I am become death, the destroyer of the worlds." After celebrating the success of the test, Colonel Leslie Groves and Oppenheimer began drafting the report to submit to the Secretary of War and the US President. New Mexico residents were pointedly not warned before the test to ensure it was carried out secretly. Data collected by the New Mexico Health Department, which carried the adverse impact of radiation caused by the detonation, was ignored for years after the test. A sudden rise in infant mortality was reported in the months after the explosion, according to a study published by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Several residents also complained that the number of cancer patients went up after the Trinity test. It was only in 1990, when the federal government passed the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act (RECA), that residents of North Mexico who contracted cancer and other illnesses due to radiation exposure received compensation. The dust outfall from the explosion was expected to have traveled nearly 100 miles from the test site, posing a serious threat to residents in the area. Many families complained that their livestock suffered skin burns, bleeding, and loss of hair. There is more data available on the damage done by the atomic bombs in Japan. The Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings are known to have killed well over 200,000 people, many of whom catched to radiation poisoning in the weeks after the blast. The uranium bomb in Hiroshima on August 6, 1945 destroyed around 70% of all buildings and caused around 140 deaths by the end of the 1945. The plutonium bomb explosion over Nagasaki, which took place 3 days later, killed 74,000 people that year, according to the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons data. After seeing the destruction caused by the two Japanese cities, Oppenheimer publicly admitted that he regretted building a bomb that could cause an apocalypse. "Mr. President, I feel I have blood on my hands," he famously told US President Harry Truman later that year. 75 years after the Trinity test, as many as 9 countries around the world are currently in possession of nuclear weapons. These include the US, the UK, Russia, France, India, China, Israel, Pakistan, and North Korea. At least 8 countries have detonated over 2,000 nuclear test explosions since 1945, according to the data released by armscontrol.org. The most recent instance of nuclear bomb test explosions conducted by India were the series of 5 explosions done as part of the Pokhran 2 tests in May 1998. The first test, codenamed the Smiling Buddha, took place in May 1974.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.